has been granted to those who are being wronged. Because they were wronged, and indeed Allah is competent to give them victory. Surah Al-Hajj verse 39. In this past week, we have witnessed some of the most amazing retaliation made by our dear and beloved resistance fighters from Iran and Lebanon. The Zionist entity still believes they can get away with their monstrous attacks without any consequences? Have they not learned that we will continue to fight back no matter how long it takes, with any means? We will continue to fight back, raising generation after generation, teaching our children to stand on the right side of justice, whether it's standing with students in Columbia University, or for our freedom fighters behind bars. We will teach them to stand on the right side of history and not to be afraid of these cowards, these pigs who believe killing 11 children on a playground is self-defense. Our beloved martyred Walid Daqqa, Allah yarahmu, is one of the many honorable freedom fighters behind bars. Walid Daqqa fought the Zionist entity with writing, poetry, and creating his miracle daughter, Milad. He has been behind bars for 38 years. And now, even in death, the Zionist entity continues to hold his body to torture his family. Walid Daqqa is not the first prisoner to have his body being held captive by the Zionists. Hundreds of political Palestinian prisoners have been killed and were buried in the infamous cemetery of Numbers. Some bodies have been there since 1967. Shame. The Zionist entity does not discriminate when it comes to its targets. Women, children, elderly, babies, everyone and anyone can become a target in the name of self-defense, according to them. Today, nearly 9,500 political Palestinian prisoners are being held behind occupation bars illegally. 80 of whom are women, 200 of them being minors. Nearly 3,660 Palestinians are being held in administrative detention without charge or trial. The situation behind occupation bars is very much inhumane. So inhumane, it's something unimaginable. The Zionist entity's official policy is to worsen the Palestinian, to worsen their conditions no matter what. And this policy specifically targets Palestinian women. Palestinian women prisoners are the subject to severe torture and abuse, including sexual assault, as in the case of Rasmia Odah, the torture survivor who was later deported by the United States. This has also been the case in occupied Palestine, where incidents of sexual abuse and assault of Palestinian women, particularly Palestinian women captured from Gaza and abducted by occupation forces. They have been abducted by occupation forces, and it has been rising dramatically. The numbers are almost out of the roof since October 7th. We have just learned of the case of Professor Nadira Shalhoub Kevorkian. When I mean we just have learned recently, I've got the news this morning. Professor Nadira Shalhoub Kevorkian, a professor who was seized by the occupation forces 2 days ago and interrogated for hours about her articles and scholarship. They shackled her feet and hands, put her in solitary in a urine and cockroach infested space. They gave her blankets with vomit on them. They kept the light on all night long. They kept the room freezing to the point her ears started to bleed from high blood pressure, and they denied her medication. They harassed her and intimidated her. They confiscated her computer, her phone, and every piece of scholarship she's working on, and also many books from her home. This is a genocide directed at Palestinian scholarships and learning, and at the Palestinian women and men who produce it. But instead, the Zionist entity proves to us, they show us evidence of their very own crimes. Every single crime that they have claimed Hamas to have done, they have done it. From killing innocent lives of children, babies, to raping a pregnant woman in the Al-Shifa hospital. They document this and they post it on social media, wearing it like a badge of honor. Shame! Our Palestinian men are not to be forgotten. I haven't forgotten you guys, don't worry. Our men, our shabab, who have been at the forefront of these fights, who have been tortured, incarcerated, put into isolation, are resistance fighters. Our men, who have been portrayed as anything but human beings. Our men, that escaped the so-called high security with a mere spoon. Our men that took down the apartheid wall in the West Bank. Men like Sheikh Izzeddin al-Qassam, who came from Syria and worked with and led Palestinians to resist against the British and their fascist ways. Men like Ahmed Sadat, Nair Barghouti, Ibrahim Hamad, Mahmoud al-Ardah, who the Zionists fear and keep them behind occupation bars for decades because they know what men like them are capable of. They know that men like Marwan Barghouti, who's been named the Mandela of Palestine, has been held in prison for nearly 28 years for their conscience and leadership. These are Palestinian leaders, Arab leaders, leaders of our international movement, and the Palestinian people and their resistance, especially the armed resistance. And all of us are determined to win their freedom and the freedom of Palestine from the river to the sea by all means necessary. The Zionist entity will continue to make claims with no evidence. They will imprison our Palestinians. 6 months of an ongoing genocide, and our governments have done nothing. So I ask you this, why are we waiting for them? Why are we waiting for politicians to do something? How do you think a revolution happens? Revolution happens when people take back their power. It's about time we globalize the Intifada. resistant fighters. And glory to the chosen people, the Palestinian people. There is only one solution! Intifada revolution! Jazakallah khair.